of former Soviet Union. Baltics, we are formally into the European energy grid, but still de facto we belong to Russia. Small security haven is the Estonian-Finnish link, 350 megawatts. Small, but already declaration of and it's very symbolic declaration of the driving, where we are driving. Again, when I talk about dependence of Lithuania on the gas, and that makes Lithuania's usage of the gas at enormously high. Also, there might be some technical reasons which very important in order to explain Lithuania's dependence on the gas. So electricity import very high. I think we are higher. Probably only Luxembourg is higher than Lithuania, but they buy from Germany and from Belgium. We love to do this. But this is to explain, there might be, as I said, sometimes situation very technical. August 2012, last year, because of the shortage of energy supply in St. Petersburg, Russia did not supply energy, so energy prices peaked twice. What does it mean? So if you are an investor in Lithuania's market, you would definitely think how the country can keep its energy security. What to do? So no more gloomy picture. Let's talk about what we should do. And as a previous colleague, especially Thomas, mentioned, that if all these projects I would just briefly mention would be implemented, and they will be implemented, because of the high price of gas I was showing, there is no other way for Lithuania than to implement all these projects. So when all these projects will be implemented, Baltic, Lithuanian energy security will be at the higher level. It's still some time to do this. There are still unresolved several issues, not least the future of the nuclear power station. But this is the Lithuania's vision. 2009, Lithuania was one of the highest exporter of energy. Because of Ignalina nuclear power station, Lithuania was one of the energy exporter. So 2011, during the economic crisis, Lithuania became highly dependent on the energy supply. So our dream is still sort of balanced energy sheet. With renewables occupying 1/3, with gas coming from both, let's say, Russia, fine if we will continue, from other alternative, but also nuclear. Nuclear I probably need to put in the brackets because this is still under the discussion. But nuclear anyway, we need to do something among the three Baltics to decide the alternative power generation. Why am I so optimistic? Because the cost of energy resources for Lithuania is quite high. So instead of bringing this revenue to Russia, the only gas supplier, we better should invest in our energy system and to benefit ourselves in order to provide this benefit to other countries. So this is what we call regional approach, BEMIP, Baltic Energy Market Connection Plan. So if all these projects will be implemented, I put the regional terminal in Riga, but this is might be moved to Riga, Estonia, or Finland. But if all these projects are implemented, Baltics will be much higher energy security situation, and we will achieve this. Again, I'm mentioning big money behind. We invest big resources to energy on everyday needs. So instead, we will invest in the future of our energy links. But I will tell about all these projects very briefly. So three major energy links. Power sector, probably I'll read too much, but I will try to squeeze in the remaining 20 minutes. Yeah. No, three. So briefly on the three major energy links. Lithuanian Nord-Balt, Baltic Nordic link, 700 megawatts, fully ready. License was given by Swedish government last month, 18 of April. 2 weeks ago, Lithuanian government, full license. Cable is already been produced in the Karlskrona ABB high voltage factory by 2015, we will start energy exchange with Sweden. What does it mean as exchange? We buy, we'll sell, depending on the price. The Lithuanian-Polish link project is very much underway. In Alytus, small Lithuanian town, because we have still different frequencies. So in Alytus, ABB started to build power interchange. Also, there is a tender announced for the cable from the air cable from Alytus to the Polish-Lithuanian border.
Time.
Yes, indeed, and I see. So by 2015, we will accomplish first line, and Pan-Baltic nuclear power station still in the year. We will decide this in the future. Our minister is talking about this. Synchronization with European network very much in pipeline. Hopefully by 2020 we might speak about synchronous connection of Lithuanian power grid, Baltic power grid with European grid. 3 energy projects Lithuania is underway to implement. Gas storage, Polish-Lithuanian pipeline. Still, I put this bracket not because of unwillingness, simply because there is a feasibility study underway. But most important, LNG terminal. I was mentioning what place energy security plays in the Lithuania's policy. This ship, which is built in South Korea of the Norwegian technologies, is called Independence. That is very symbolic. The guys in Vilnius are very smart. This is really Lithuania's independence. So this ship will have the name Independence. I probably still mention 2 issue which is, of course, not directly related with Lithuania, but 2 nuclear power stations in our proximity. And that's if Kaliningrad and Belarusian nuclear power station will be included in the European grid, that would definitely slow down Baltic accession to the EU, to the European energy grid. That would definitely make less economically attractive building of Baltic nuclear power station. And most important, these 2 projects not fully correspond to the ESPO conventional security regulations. So that's why I draw the line. This is what Russian offer to bring radioactive materials from a possible future Kaliningrad, Baltiskaya nuclear power station to Sosnowy Bor near St. Petersburg. Are we countries in the region concerned? I think yes, we should. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Since we're a bit short in time, I think the audience have questions as well. I'll just ask you one question first. If we meet in 10 years' time from now, would we even discuss the importance of Gazprom in the Baltic region? It seems that it's declining very fast. To summarize what you have all been talking about.
I think the solution is on the table. Lithuania will have this floating terminal. Tallinn will get a terminal. Riga seems to decline. This is essentially the solution. The third energy package should free up the pipelines. That's it.
I would probably keep the same line. The future of Gazprom, or not the future of Gazprom, is not the main importance. I think main important issues how we, EU countries, if we will be able to implement all what we agreed. For example, Lithuania, in the forthcoming EU presidency from 1st of July, we emphasize one of the top priorities is energy security. In both aspects, to accomplish creation of the internal market of energy, crucial importance, including all implementation of unbundling and all other measures. And EU speaking in one voice externally. Again, crucial issues. Situation when we are not speaking in one voice, paying off badly to us. We need, again, let me to improvise, EU Ashton. EU, when we have in the CFSP one voice speaking on behalf of us, we need the same energy Ashton to speak on our behalf externally. So this is what I think, again, it depends on us, on our willingness to implement what we agreed.
Thomas, would you like to comment?
Well, my answer is that I hope not that we will be discussing Gazprom in 10 years' time. But I think that depends not well, it could be good if we didn't have to discuss Gazprom with Russian consent. But I think that the projects that are on their way, the legislation that we have introduced in the European Union through the third energy package, makes that the prospects are quite good that there will be no need to discuss Gazprom in 10 years' time.
So I'll open the floor for questions from you. Anybody? Yes?
Thank you. My name is Jan Leonhjelm. As far as I can remember, the Baltic nations are one of the very few who actually has in their security concepts, and even I believe in one case constitution, that energy infrastructure must not be sold to foreign countries. I wonder if this is still so, because aren't there signs that Russian companies have actually bought shares in Baltic energy infrastructure? And one specific question to Anders. Gazprom's perhaps too optimistic vision is to fill in the gap with the declining production with the new gas fields they will be exploiting. Although we haven't seen any large fields being discovered, but is it totally unfeasible that production of gas could rise in this manner?
Jan, Gazprom has a massive overcapacity. Gazprom doesn't need Yamal. Their problem is to sell. So production is now falling because they can't sell it. So Gazprom has an overcapacity of something like 150 billion cubic meters per year, according to the Sberbank analyst previously, Troika Dialog, that I put most trust in. And they're doing the wrong things, but they have enormous amounts of conventional gas. Gazprom, in one way or the other, controls the pipeline systems in all three Baltic countries, together with E.ON, for example, in Latvia. So it's not true that Gazprom can't buy the energy infrastructure. It has done so.
Itvidas, could you tell us more about the nuclear power plant, perhaps?
The nuclear power plant I was mentioning, Visaginas, of course, it still probably makes my optimistic picture less optimistic, because there are still some unresolved issues. But the situation is very simple. There was a deal with Hitachi of Lithuania's government for nuclear power project. This deal was put on the referendum last autumn, which was held together with the national elections, and the referendum was negative. It was albeit it was consultative, but it was negative. So new government asked experts to come up with a solution. So experts came with a solution which were adapted at the government level. First, if Lithuania will continue, and there is still quite a high probability of continuation, that should be trilateral Baltic project. So all three Baltic countries should sit together, agree, and that only then to continue. Secondly, experts concluded that we need to have more viable economic solution. So the future price of the potential nuclear power station, which supposedly to be built by Hitachi, was high, by experts' estimates, too high. So we need to have more viable solution, a long-term guarantee from the Japanese investment bank if Japan will continue to cooperate, and so on. Second, and thirdly, we need to talk with our public to explain what is the place of the nuclear power in our future. So that was, I think, if this three conditions will be implemented, these projects will still on, and I hope very much on.
Anders, or anybody, to what extent could Novatek and Rosneft, if your partitioning scenario comes true, could they replicate Gazprom's monopoly power? I mean, one answer is difficult, if, in fact, maybe impossible if the EU's third energy package is implemented and the Baltic states take all these steps. But what about elsewhere in Europe? Thank you.
Well, Matt, Novatek's strategy is really quite different. While it's controlled by Putin's cronies, it seems to be a very efficient company in spite of that. So it's run as a normal private company. It has been the darling of a stock market. Its market capitalization now is more than 1/3 of Gazprom's. And it just seems to go up and up. What they are now asking for is export permits, and which is still a Gazprom monopoly, and to build an LNG plant on Yamal for production. So my guess is that Novatek will take over a lot, and Rosneft a bit less of Gazprom's big gas fields. And the suspicion is that Gazprom simply becomes like Transneft, a pipeline company, because it's so mismanaged. And Putin clearly gives preference both to Novatek and to Rosneft, while he seems to use Gazprom as a slush fund where he tries to get as much money out of a company before it collapses.
And can I ask you about the EU investigation? You said that it will probably, Gazprom will probably lose the case on all points. And what does it mean for the company?
Yeah, here I totally rely on Professor Alan Riley of London City University. And what he argues is that the whole case will take 6 years, and it started in September last year. But basically we will see in the fall what the real outcome will be, and the market will adjust to that. And what this will mean is that the gas prices in Europe will fall substantially, and that there will be huge fines. Already last year, Gazprom had to pay back in private arbitration cases of a similar nature, $4.3 billion. And this year, perhaps something in the order of $10 billion. So Lithuania is wisely suing Gazprom. I trust it's here in Stockholm in the arbitration court. So Gazprom is losing money right and left. It's losing every case, as far as I'm aware. We have lost against 4 of the big Western companies. They have lost against Poland. They have lost against Czech RWE Transgas. And next, I hope for Lithuania. And they try to claim money from Ukraine and $7 billion. Instead, Ukraine more or less stops gas purchases now from Russia, and has started buying gas from Poland instead. So this is really a calamity of extraordinary proportions. What will happen with the price? We saw here Lithuania now paying $14 per 1 million BTU. The spot market price in Rotterdam is now $9. In the US, it's just over $4. So what I would guess is that we'll see a price in Europe down to 9, to compare with 14 today for Lithuania, 12 for Germany, which is a quite good price.
But still, these fines, it's quite small money compared to what's lost in corruption and sheer waste. So. Well,
Alan Riley says that Gazprom could be forced to pay $10 billion of fines, given the degree of flaws, and relatively small problems like Microsoft and Intel have paid more than $1 billion in fines to the EU competition. This is the part of the European Commission that is real integrity, because nobody fusses with them. There's no influence of the European Council there, so there's no politics. And therefore, the EU competition side is the toughest part of the EU.
If anybody has some questions, you should raise your hand now. Otherwise, maybe you want to make some concluding remarks on this topic, or do Did we cover?
No,
every
I probably
important
not
question?
concluding remark because there were so many already remarks. But just to combine with the previous question about the Gazprom and sewage to the courts, of course, I think we would better deal with all the companies without court. Court is a last resort. But what is, I think, the positive is in all this story is EU declaring, European Commission declaring very strongly that all the deals within and with EU are of the market nature. This is what I think the key word in the energy story of the Lithuania, Baltic states, and of all Europe. Energy should become market orientated. So when we will reach our relation with Gazprom of market nature, that would be the end of our quarrels. Hopefully we will reach one day.
Well, as I said, that what has been shown in this panel, I think, is that the gas market maybe is not settled, but all the instruments are there that we could use it to make something positive out of it. And we will trade gas with Russia in the future as well, but probably on a more equal basis. What is still left for the Baltic region that we still will have to discuss, and that will probably be in another panel another year, but that is the electricity market and what is happening in the nuclear sector, because I think that the problems there might be a little bit more urgent for the moment.
I should make a plug for Boris Nemtsov and Vladimir Milov's book, Putin and Gazprom, which is an excellent presentation of the corrupt system of Gazprom. It's freely available in English or Russian on the web. Just Google it, and it's astounding reading. The message I want to leave you with is that no country can function long with this degree of top-level corruption. This is a serious dysfunction for Russia as a whole. Arms purchases do not look better. It's a perfectly secret part, so therefore a similar amount of money. What investment analysts say that 70% of pipeline expenditures are sheer corruption. No country can manage it in this way for a long time. So what we are seeing is a more serious economic and therefore political crisis coming up when the prices fall a bit for oil and gas.
And would you say it's impossible for Gazprom to change into a more well-managed company at the London Stock Exchange, for example?
No, no way whatsoever. Corruption is the main purpose of this company. By ordinary standard, this should be called a crime syndicate. And if it were not so large, it would be treated as organized crime, and therefore be subject to all kinds of due diligence refusals and money laundering investigations.
Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you.